The Doom Scrolls is a joke. It's a podcast. Nothing I say should be taken seriously. Viewers are advised to watch something else. Find a safe space. Just basically click the little X at the top of your screen, close this down, and move along. You don't want to watch this, trust me. We ask that you don't finish an episode. This is the Doom Scrolls. And what's up, guys? Welcome to the Doom Scrolls. This is another episode of the Doom Scrolls. I think this is episode 9, maybe, of the Doom Scrolls of episode 9. And I think the last time I made one of these was about 8 months ago. And I was in a completely different headspace, a completely different place. I was like, I don't know. I was like living in a totally different life 8 months ago. But today is January the 4th, 2025, the first show of 2025. I've been getting a lot of things in order in my life, and it seems like every time I do one of these, I learn a lot about myself. I'm a different person today than I was a few months back. But I stopped dating. I stopped giving a fuck about relationships. Started going out a lot more. Going to. I was kind of stuck at a bar that I kind of hung out at because a friend of mine would go there a lot, and I distanced myself from there a couple weeks ago. And it seems like when I distance myself from like my regular habits, everything just kind of fell into place and went in a good direction for me. So I picked up a second job again, waiting tables at a place that I was working at right around 9 months ago or 10 months ago. I still work in a warehouse. I work on a loading dock, and I'm getting more responsibility at the warehouse, which is really awesome. It seems like I kind of just sharpened up my image a little bit more. In the back of my head, I always have the Kevin Samuels, the Kevin Samuels information. Better yourself, work 2 jobs, smell good, take care of your image, look good for yourself. And then I seen recently something that said people carry their effort, and their success is like something that you could kind of see on their body. So obviously, like, you see somebody out of shape who is like maybe doesn't look too happy. There's something about that that's going to carry on over into their work life, into their work habits. And I started to take that seriously, and it seems to be changing everything. Just keep taking better care of yourself. It changes the world around you, which is really awesome. Like I just started taking care of my mohawk. Got my little man bun here, my little ponytail here. It's like a little samurai situation going. And it kind of changed how people treat me and how I feel about myself in a way also. Like, being very sharp, it changed my mindset to where I'm kind of like less, like, I'm more about business now. I'm less about fucking around. And that's carrying over to my second job also. My second job is rearranging. A lot of shit happened on New Year's Day there. We're working in a restaurant, and there's lazy people who don't want to do their jobs, and lazy people who are, I want to say, not in the right, not in the right shape to be doing what we do. Like, you need a lot of energy doing this shit. And I'm not talking shit. I'm not fat shaming. I'm not fucking hating on anybody because I'm just not that guy. But we just need people who have the energy to do the job at my night job. So I'm taking more initiative there. I'm taking more initiative in the warehouse. People give me respect. I work in a warehouse with 50 men who all have respect for each other. Who, like, there's no nonsense. It's just fun. We have a good time at work. And then I go to a restaurant, and there's like 2 or 3 women who don't get along, and it just turns everything into chaos. So I guess things came to a head finally, and they're getting rid of those people. And it's like, now everything's falling into place. The warehouse is like, I'm getting more respect there. I'm getting more responsibility there. I'm getting more as far as like on my plate. I get paid well there. They take care of me. It's an actual career. You know, I have a 401k. I have everything that I need to build a future there. Then I have a night job to make money for me. And then I started dressing nicely, taking care of myself, saving a little money here and there. And then surprisingly enough, that all worked in my favor. Like, women will come up to me, women want to talk to me, women want, you know, to exchange information and speak to me when I'm not around, which is really nice. And I think I picked up a girlfriend recently. Very sweet young lady, very sweet young lady. She has a couple of kids. And that's something that I always worried about, and I always thought like was my business, but it really isn't my business. Like, her kids are raised; they're not babies. They're older cats. They're like teenagers, so it's not even an issue, which is really cool. Like, everything's falling into place, and with that, I like the Doom Scrolls is gonna fall into where it belongs. Like, I could already see everything manifesting. Everything that I worked for, that I want to happen, is going to happen. And as far as me getting an office for this podcast, and a space to have people to bring on to go along with the mission that I have for this podcast. And the mission has always been like to help people to exchange information and ideas, and to help people find that energy to get out of bed every day. You know what I mean? The energy to do the things that make you successful, to show you that there is actually hope for somebody who goes through a lot of really fucked up things in life. You know, like, I was a drug addict my whole life. I was violent. I was angry. I hated myself. I didn't want to make it this far, but I did, because of, I guess, just sheer will, and maybe some selfishness. Like, I made it this far, and everything's falling into place, which puts me in a better position to do what I want to do with my life. And I don't want to fuck off with my life. Like, I have a kid, I have family, I have a future, I have something that I want out of my life to happen. And for me, it's the Doom Scrolls, it's this podcast, it's the mission that I have in my mind is to just spread hope and information, and to show people that came from where I come from, people that are going through the shit that I went through. You know, like, my father was super abusive. My family kind of was poor. I grew up around drugs. I grew up around drug addicts. I grew up around gangs. I grew up around violence. Like, there is actually hope for people who go through all that shit. So having said all that, a lot of cool things are happening around the Doom Scrolls. This fruition, the seeding of it all. I have a buddy who is very successful in his business, and his business is actually about to blow up, which is really cool. His business is about to, I want to say that he's formulating something that's going to turn into something that's going to become something very big. And with that, I kind of know where he's aiming, and I kind of know what he's going for, and I think I have something to offer him as far as like working with him and helping him become what he wants. And that's all gonna spill over into, you know, into the Doom Scrolls becoming something. So I'm actually, I guess I'm finally, like, I've always been at the place where I'm like, something's gonna happen, and at this point I'm like, okay, it is happening. Things are actually moving forward. You know, like, I make pretty well with my night job and my day job, and I'm not gonna be stuck in this situation forever, because from what I've seen, like, all the work that I put in, it's turning into what I want to get out of life now. And I didn't think that was possible. I just kind of, I don't know what I thought. I kind of just thought, like, you should get what you want if you work. But it's different. It's more than that. Like, working hard is the only way to get all that. So 2 jobs, a side hustle, something extra, you know what I mean? Like, that's the only way to get to where you need to be. But like, I told my buddy, like, dude, your success is gonna bleed over into my life. My success is gonna bleed over. Like, it's gonna be awesome to be successful with your friends, and to have something to offer them, and to be able to help, and not just be like, I want you to bring me with you. You know what I mean? Like, I have stuff to bring. Like, he's an older cat. So he's not really a new, like, about like the AI, and like where like some like a lot of the stuff is going. He's not really into all that stuff, but I am, so I bring that to the table, which is really awesome. And he's gonna franchise his idea. I could see it happening. Like, it's going to happen. He's going to be able to train people to do what he does and make a business out of it and make it very successful, which is pretty cool for the Doom Scrolls. I'll be able to have people on. Um, I'll have a desk with 3 or 4 people on, or 2 or 3 people. I kind of want to keep it maybe 2 or 3, not too many people. But the mission of this has always been to spread hope. I actually met. I work at a bar, and a lot of successful people go to this bar. There are a lot of older cats, and they ask me, what I'm about, and I just tell them, like, I used to be into some really bad shit. I was a druggie. I wanted to chase those highs because I didn't want to remember shit, and I've came to a place where, like, I had a daughter. I wanted to learn how to be a better person for her. I don't want to be like what I came from. I don't want her to come from what I came from. So as far as like me working hard and kicking ass out there, like, I do that for her. But like, one of the byproducts of that is, like, now you have something that you can show other people. Like, you bring hope to the table, and I don't think a lot of people know how to do that for others. And for some reason, I feel compelled to say shit like, people can actually get better. People can actually rise out of whatever bullshit they think they're in. And dude, it's 2025 now. The beginning of the year just started, right? I know a lot of people who are trying to stay clean, trying to stay sober. I know a lot of people who passed away last year. We lost, like, some really cool people. One of my buddies, my friend David Brake, passed away. One of my friends, Mary Tidwell, passed away. A couple of people passed away from, like, falling asleep drunk and not waking up again. And I know a lot of people who are trying to stop that, which is really, really cool. But like I went to AA, I went to NA for many years, and that scene is its own scene. Like, it's its own circuit. Like, that's a lot of people's lives is in those rooms, and I get it, because alcohol really helps, to fuck yourself up. It really destroys if you let it get out of hand, right? But I know the ins and outs of people at the rock bottom. I kind of know the ins and outs of that shit because I've seen so many thousands of people that were just fucked up and fucked over and ruined their lives. And but I started to see, like, in the bar scene, like, people who have success in their lives, people who have their families, people who have, like, everything that they want, but they just don't know why they can't stop drinking, or they, like, and on some level it's fun, but I think people, like, continue their drinking problem because it's really not a problem, but they just don't like how they feel when they're drunk all the time. And I know how to help somebody who's, like, somebody who's homeless, somebody who has no family and friends, somebody who has no money and no job. Like, you can kind of give them hope because they have no other, like, they need the hope. They need to hold on to that. Like, they can't fuck around. They're already at the bottom. But I met a lot of people recently who, like, are almost coddled and have money and have people giving them, what they need and enabling the drinking. And these are the people that want to quit drinking, but it's not, like, I don't think it's feasible to want to quit drinking, but have somebody enable you to continue to do it, because the temptation is going to be there, and you're probably most likely going to, like, fall victim to the temptation. But it's very interesting, like, to come across these new situations after being around for so long. Like, I'm 38 years old now, and I guess I've always knew that, yeah, there's people who drink and have issues, but there's, like, people who drink and have issues and they have no reason to stop, but they're, like, at war. There's, like, at war with themselves. Like, they want to, but they can't. And I kind of am sober for a lot of those people right now. And it's interesting because, like, nobody asks you to do that. You just do it because you want to, like, know how to help them when they're in it. Like, I mean, like, I want to drink because it's fun, and I want to go out and drink because I like having friends around me and being social. And I know a lot of people feel like they're missing out if they're not out drinking, so they still go out and they kind of drink water, or but then they, like, you feel out of place, or you feel bad, or the temptation is there again because you're right there with it. it's just it's fascinating to me now. I think about it all the time right now because it's the beginning of the year, and I know people who are worried about this and who are going through it. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna drink anymore the way I had been because things are really at a better pace now. Like I have a girlfriend right now. Um, I met a girl at work. She and I signed applications together, and I kind of was just kind of being cool with her and talking to her about like this and that, and like I kind of I make people laugh and I make them smile, and that smile just kind of was like, oh, like she smiled right at me, like looking at me in a way where like it kind of just hit. So we started going out on little dates here and there, and then just kind of spending time with each other, and then it's just turning like into something that I've been wanting for like so long. But like I'm not going after like sex. I'm not forcing anything because I want a relationship. Because honestly, I'm not looking for shit. But the coolest thing is like I'm I'm starting to look good. I lost like 15 pounds in the last couple of weeks. My clothes are fitting me again. I have a little bit of money on me and on its way at all times. Money's coming towards me at all times. I know that because I'm working so hard. And you have a girlfriend. You got promises of like a raise at work and like a position shift. Like I might be more and more responsible at my day job than I've ever been in my entire life within the next coming months, which is really amazing. I'm thinking of moving out of this house, which is really amazing. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that because I kind of have this weird scarcity mindset too. But like when you work hard and you do everything you're supposed to, and you're very diligent with how you carry yourself, and you have a purpose. You have drive. You don't let shit distract you. Like I'm not letting people's um, get in my way as far as like nothing at all, like friendship or family issue, any of that. Like I don't have any family issues. My family's great right now. My mother and sister and brother and everybody. My kid is great, and so I don't like want to put myself in any position where people's spiritual like energy is going to drag me in any direction that I don't want to be dragged in. But I keep myself around the people who I know like I could trust with my energy, and they're not gonna fuck it up for me, and I'm not gonna fucking we're not gonna butt heads at all. Like I have a set group of friends right now, which is really amazing. I distanced myself from that bar scene that I was a part of a couple of weeks back, and everything just fell right into place. Like apparently, me not feeding my bad habits is like the best thing that I could ever do for myself. And I don't think a lot of people are in a place where they're able to do that, right? Because it just takes a lot of willpower. But I got off heroin cold turkey, so like it's a little different for me. Like I have a lot of strength when it comes to doing things that I really know are going to make me uncomfortable, but I'll do them anyway because I know the outcome is greater than the process itself. Um, but yeah, man, the Doom Scrolls is about to pop off here, and I've talked to a lot of people at my night job that are like, that's a really noble mission to have, like to spread hope and to want to like share that energy and help other people get out of bed. Like the issue, like the problem is people fall to depression, and our minds are just like a little factory of negativity when you feel upset. Um, but you start to see things differently when you have friends who back you up or somebody who you could look up to. Like I said, Sadhguru, Eckhart Tolle, these are people that helped me get out of my shit, and I kind of want to do that with the rest of my life for whoever wants to listen. I don't. This isn't going to be like the best podcast or the funniest. It's not going to be about that at all. It's really about like how can we help the people around us get better, and how can we help ourselves, and where is that information going to come from? It comes from a lot of book reading, and the problem I have with people, what really irks me is that a lot of people don't sit there and read a book, and reading a book itself is like, if that's an issue, then get an audiobook. You know what I mean? Put the headphones on, um, put the headphones on, uh, play the audiobook while you're working, play the audiobook while you're in the shower, play the audiobook while you're laying in bed instead of going through Facebook, instead of drinking, instead of fucking off on yourself. Like teach yourself something about your mindset that's going to help you. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody does that anymore, and the problem is that everybody thinks that it's a chore to help yourself, but it's really not a chore to help yourself. Every time I finish a book, like I have so much, like it brings me another level of like success within me, but it also helps me to help anybody around me because I've always like ran into people who needed that information, you know? And people always say like when you speak from the heart listens. So I speak from the heart when it comes to like trying to help people, and I think it really does help others. So that's why I figure like I'm compelled to do this. It's really like it's a long shot that this will maybe help anybody, but I've never let that kind of stop me from doing what I do personally as far as sharing. And I guess when I went to NA for all those years, I learned how to share, and I noticed a lot of people were like very thankful that I had stuff to say, but a lot of people don't know how to share to incite hope in others. I think that's something that I was like a gift that I was blessed with, um, to be able to incite hope and to like start a fire in people. Like I've seen the fire, like burn in somebody's eye when you like they look dead inside, and you just kind of like show them like, hey, I know where you're coming from. That's not the end of the line. Like the end of the line is gonna be later in your old age. Like the end of the line isn't now because of no fucking drugs. Like people are way stronger than they give themselves credit. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what this is going to be about. I've said it time and time again, and I think I get better at explaining it here on the Doom Scrolls. But when people are like, "What do you do? What do you like to do?" I tell them about the Doom Scrolls, and they want to see. So then they watch a few minutes of it, and I kind of think that like I get better at doing this. So to watch the next one would be like, okay, it'd be more, it'd be better to just keep up with the newer episodes. And I'm kind of boring right now because it's just a one man thing, but I never run out of stuff to say because I've always been that way. Um, so I think God is compelling me, and I use that term loosely, but whenever I feel compelled to do something, it changes my life in a way that, like, I know if I didn't do that, it wouldn't have happened for me. Um, as far as like the last breakup I went through, major breakup I went through, changed my whole life. I met people that gave me confidence within myself, and the breakup I went through after that, which is my most recent one, just kind of reminded me that like I'm on the right path if I just like stick to my like my morals, my values, my judgment, and don't allow anything to cloud that. And I've never been one to let like sex cloud my mind. Not in my modern age, right? Like not in the last couple of years. Um, but sticking to that has been helping me to be successful in every aspect of my life. Because I used to chase just crazy. I used to just chase like sexy, crazy girls, and that always ended up turning me into like a fucked up person or putting me in a bad place. But yeah, I get compelled to do shit like wreck my whole apartment and move out back into my mom's, and then to go out meet my friends, and that lit a fire in me and made me love myself, you know. And then now I'm here, I have the energy to do this, and it's just like I could see the process and how it works, and I kind of want to write about it, and I kind of want to talk about it. I want to bring people in to discuss it. I want to see if anyone else has that, like, has been through there. You know what I mean? And like maybe they have, things that I didn't, that I overlooked. Maybe they went through some things that I haven't been through that I need to learn from them. You know what I mean? Like I'm not never going to be finished. We're never finished learning. You just continue to learn. And I don't think I'm like good at what I do yet when it comes to this, but I know it's going to come over time, and I'm going to continue to keep trying to do this. I think this is like the ninth episode of the Doom Scrolls I've done in since January of 2024. So I only do it like when I'm compelled to do it. I don't do it because I think I have to. Like I don't do it because I don't do it because I think I have to. I don't do it because I'm gonna get something out of it, but I do it because get this like I feel like I'm being pushed to, and I think that that's God or spiritual shit or whatever it is. But I just know it's gonna help somebody in the end. Um, let's see. Yeah, so as far as like me, like I've been happy. I don't think I've been so happy in a long time, but I also haven't felt lonely, um which is really important to say, I guess, cuz I had always been depressed pretty much my whole life up until the last couple of months, and or the last year or so, a little bit more than a year. It's been going away, but it's finally down to a level where like it's almost undetectable. Like I wake up happy, I go to sleep happy. I never have like a something's missing moment, unless like some negative shit, like some of the things I shouldn't be doing. So I know, like I went out a couple of days ago after work, and I went to a bar and I just kind of sat there and I seen like a lot of people having a great time, a lot of, a lot of hot chicks, a lot of cool people out there, and I was like, wait a minute, like I feel like shit. I'm by myself. Like I don't have a lot of friends around. This is after like binge drinking with friends every day for a couple weeks, and I sat there and I had a beer and I was just like, I'm very unhappy. Like I don't want to be at a bar by myself. So like that's when you learn like to listen to your body, listen to yourself, and that's kind of when I learned like, yeah, I don't want to be at bars by myself. It seems like cool, yeah, you can meet people, but apparently that's not for me. Like I have to be around friends or I have to be home because I'm like happy at home. I play Minecraft, play a lot of Minecraft. That's my vice now. Minecraft is like my drugs. Minecraft is like my heroin or my weed or whatever when I was younger. And that's kind of weird, but I like the projects. I like building. I like being creative. I think Minecraft just kind of hits all those notes for me. Building something, being creative, and then me and my daughter started playing together, which is really cool. I have a server that's just like 24 hours a day. You can log in and play on there, which is really cool. But yeah, like I've been spending more time with her, and she's a really cool kid. My daughter's a really cool kid, and some of me and my friends and my daughter have been hanging out. So she's starting to socialize with my friends, which is really nice. She's only 6 years old, but she's really popular. People love her, and it's really cool to see her have that kind of childhood. I know when I was a kid, like I semi had a fun childhood. Like I liked being alone. I liked to hang out and play with toys and watch TV and do whatever I wanted, play video games. But it wasn't like we didn't have I didn't go to kids parties and I didn't like hang out with a lot of kids, and like my parents didn't take me to a lot of places, but like I enjoyed my childhood more or less, cuz I was oblivious to like mostly what I was missing out on. It's just that the older I got, I was like, well, my childhood didn't it kind of sucked the older I got. But like thankfully Gypsy doesn't have that and my daughter doesn't have that. She's not going to have that issue that I had growing up, like the self-esteem shit, like the sorrow of growing up poor, the sadness from not having friends. Like everybody likes her, she's going to have what she needs because I work hard to make sure she has what she needs. But that's the breaking of the breaking the cycle shit that, like, that's the hope too that people need to have. Like your kids need you. You can bring hope. You can change their lives if you just find the hope. Like nobody's gonna want you to get better. Really, people do want you to get better, but nobody's gonna like coddle you to get you better. There's a lot of reading involved. There's a lot of stuff you kind of don't want to do, but it becomes really helpful. Like Narcotics Anonymous meetings, right? AA meetings, right? Picking up some books. You can get audiobooks on YouTube. You don't even have to pay for shit. You could just help yourself by learning how to like get out of that fucking hole. And I think like it can benefit everything. Like it's benefiting me now that I did that for myself. Um, you know, having a career, having the energy to have a job also, and a girlfriend and a daughter and your family and a car, and everybody's happy with you and nobody's pissed off and everything's going well. That comes from hard work, and it doesn't it's not a chore anymore. It's like I'm so glad I get to do this. But at first it was like almost like fuck I have to. And I guess that's the transition, like from being a kid to growing up to be an adult. Like now I'm happy to be there for my kid, because she's gonna be better. She's gonna have a happy future. It's just not gonna be what I had to go through. Look at that! I have fucking lipstick on my collar, but it spills over. like being there for yourself, it turns into something so amazing. Like I like I actually have somebody who texts me that they miss me, somebody who reaches out and wants me to be near them, and that just doesn't come from moping around and like sitting around and acting like bettering yourself is a chore, or like your life is a chore to have to pick up the pieces of what you've been through or yourself, because everybody has their traumas and their bullshit, and everybody gets fucked up or hurts themselves for whatever reason. But I'm just glad I fucking decided one day like I'm going to change it, and I'm not Superman. Like nobody's like perfect. You can't change it all in one day, but if you make the effort to change like as much as possible, um, like everything like life changes completely. Like the Serenity Prayer says, "Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." Right? Like I learned that from Narcotics Anonymous. They use that in AA. It's basically telling you, right, do what you can do, and don't sweat all the shit you can't really change. You know, you can't change the past, can't change my childhood, can't change any of the breakups or any of the fuck ups that I've done, but I could change like what I'm going to do now from this step forward, which leads to the entire future changing, really. And I just felt compelled to come on and say look, it's actually working. I told every bit of what I've been through to this point, and this is the point where I'm at now, where I'm like, look, it's actually fucking, this is the pivot point. And it's really relaxing. Like I don't cry anymore for myself. I sometimes feel a little sad for my who I used to be. Like that sucks that you went through that, but I no longer cry for like I'm not missing people. I'm not missing love. I have love. I have blessings now, but I could only see the bad before, and I could see how that kind of wraps its arms around every aspect of somebody's life. Um, there just has to be a point where you say, I'm not going to continue to do this forever, and somehow or another, it comes back to you in blessings or whatever you want. It'll happen. You just have to have faith and find hope. But the hope doesn't come to you. Like nobody could force hope down your throat. You kind of have to see the hope and like kind of backtrack with the hope. How did they get to that point, right? Backtrack to the hope, like how, or like what kind of shit did they go through but how did they end up there, you know? Like I want to spread that. But that's pretty much what I'm about nowadays in general, like me as a person. And I don't really think I've ever said that mostly to anybody. I said that maybe to a handful of people. But who has the time? It's like a lot of heavy shit. Like this is all very heavy shit. None of this is like easy. What I'm talking about and what I've been through and all the shit I've tried to do with this, it's never going to be easy. It's never like nothing worth doing is easy, to be honest. But like it really could work. Like life sucks and then you work hard and things get better. And I don't want to go on and on about that shit, but I just feel like that's what I had to be here for today. And as far as the Doom Scrolls goes, like it's not done. I just like everything comes at a steady pace. Like little by little, everything's gonna happen. But yeah, another issue I guess about like doing the Doom Scrolls would be that like I started smoking pot again in September. I started smoking. It's January now. September, October, November, sorry, January. So it's been about 4 months, and like I'll smoke and I'll sit here and I'll just kind of zone out. So that's gonna be one of my issues, I guess, that I have to watch. But I've always had an easy time stopping doing dumb shit, whatever stifles my creativity or my spiritual energy. And if smoking weed's gonna stifle my energy and like take away from the doom scrolls, then that'll be one thing that I do stop doing. Um, But I think that's an issue for me now. It's like my only issue, like which is really a blessing to have. Like I just have to stop smoking weed. Like there's nothing else wrong in my life. I don't come here to argue or bullshit. Um, I did run into some bullshit a couple of months back where like a friend of mine with mental health issues, like who I really care about deeply, um, like kind of turned his guns on me, and I had to be like, look, like I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to know you anymore, and I don't like doing that because like mental health issues is like to me that's like it's like a special important thing that I have to be very careful about. Like I don't. I love people with mental health issues. I don't not like them, but you have to also step back from people who have those problems sometimes because it'll get into your like psyche and fuck you up. But Buddy wanted to fight me over like $8 at the bar, and I was like, "Go ahead and fuck me up, bro. Like you can kick my ass. It's not an issue. Go ahead, beat me up. It's not gonna change the fact that you're acting like a fucking bitch. You know what I mean? Like you're acting like an asshole right now over like nothing." And like dude got crazy, so I kind of like decided not to go back over there because they kind of allow him there, and he has mental health issues, and like people with mental health issues, mental health issues shouldn't be at the bar. But like we threw this dude a birthday party, and it was me and my homegirl, and he ended up kind of talking shit to her the very next day, which flipped the switch in my head. Like, what? How dare you? Like, we threw you a birthday party, and he's like, no, you didn't have nothing to do with it. I was like, yeah, I did. I made sure it happened. She went the full mile to make sure it happened, but I relayed that we need to make sure this happens to get, we decided we're gonna do this, so we threw a full a party, and the next day he started like talking shit to her, which is crazy, but that's the mental health shit. Like I don't know what it is. Like maybe you don't feel like people love you enough or not right, and you want more, and you get jealous, and you get needy. But like I cut him off, and a part of me was like, it's sad because I care about the guy, but I got to protect my own shit. I got to protect my spirit. And I stopped going over there. And a part of me was like thankful that he did that. So I went back to go try to tell him, like, hey, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I just want you to know, like, I just wanted to reason with you and show you, like, you can beat me up, but it's not going to change the fact that you're acting like a fucking asshole when it comes to, like, money or whatever. And it obviously, like, made him snap. Like he went crazy again, and he like was pissed off, and I just said, okay, I'm done trying. But thank God this dude flipped out on me because that stopped me from going back over there. Like I just didn't want to go back there anymore. Like it's just uncomfortable. I don't want to be at a bar where some dude with mental health issues is just there drinking alcohol and smoking weed, and like whatever he thinks like it could set him off. Like it doesn't make sense to me. But I thankfully that happened because I quit that bar, and then a lot of stuff has been happening since then. The sad thing is that like my really good friend will go there, and I don't want to go there anymore. But he's my best friend, like he is, and it kind of pisses him off that I haven't been seeing him over there. But he only wants to go there, and I'm not down with staying in one place anymore, and I don't want to go to that place anymore at all. But I've been kind of traveling around, hitting up different bars and kind of being social and putting my name out there, and it's really like it's really nice to meet new people and to branch out. And anybody who kind of wants to hold me back in any direction in any way, shape, or form, like I don't agree with that anymore. Like I'm not going to do that anymore, and it's really like helping me. And I noticed that it's the catalyst that's changed me within the last couple of weeks. Just being able to free my spirit to go do different things. Like my spirit is just kind of growing, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Like my spirit's bigger than this fucking house today, like that's the energy that I fucking look for, that I want to keep. And like I live my life by that shit nowadays. Like I'm not going to stay in places where my energy is stifled. I'm not gonna do stuff for people who stifle my energy. I became really vocal about that at my night job, and it also like became the catalyst of something that's happening now. So like my night job, like I said, we have some people that are a little lazy, that don't want to go up and down stairs because we have two levels at the job or whatever, And I decided I decided like New Year's Day, like I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. Like I have no more nonsense. Like I have no time for anybody's manipulative bullshit. Like so one of my coworkers is like really lazy, and I'm like, dude, like you got to do your work. I can't be fucking doing your job for you. And she's like, oh my god, you hurt my feelings and you break my heart. Like that's so mean. And I'm like, dude, like when I come to you with concerns and you don't do anything about it, and if I ask you two or three times, like her thing was like, oh, you're being a crybaby. So when she said I made her feel sad and emotional, I was like, dude, fuck that. We're not doing that anymore. Like you already insulted me, called me crybaby. Now your emotions matter and mine don't. Like fuck you. So that's like me being real, you know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to be an asshole, I'm not trying to be mean or nothing, but it started a huge fight, which is really kind of fun to be in, but also not fun to be in because I don't want to fight in general. But to watch her like lose her shit and to know like what kind of a menace she's been at that job was really interesting, and kind of like I'm not gonna lie, I felt like on the inside like I'm glad this is happening. Um, but we had a lot of crazy shit going on over there, and like I talk shit in front of a bunch of people, and the boss there kind of knows like I'm right. So the boss didn't say anything to me, but like she ended up the boss ended up quitting, and the person who was under her got promoted. Well, the person who was under the boss is a really good friend of mine, and also doesn't like any laziness and doesn't like the lazy people. So the coolest thing about it is like these lazy people are fired. They're gone. You know, they're gone. They're out of my way now, which is really nice because I enjoy the job. I like the money. I like the women that are there. I like the people. You know, I like people. I like meeting new people. Um, but I just don't have fucking like any more room in me for like people fucking acting like they are doing what they're doing and living how they're like. I don't want to fuck with people who are just talking about stuff and are all ego and talk. Like I'm so glad they're gone because now we'll have people who want to work and make money and actually care about how they make money and the employees around them. But I swear every time I'm compelled to like change things, it gets changed for the better, and people are very thankful. Like a lot of people were just like thanking me for calling that girl out and like telling her off the way I did, and she ended up getting fired. She doesn't know she's fired yet, but she's fucking fired. And the coolest thing about that is like my friend is the boss and my input matters now. Like I told her, do we need to like reestablish this place as like a fun place to be at. We need to have people who have energy, like people who have like that spiritual energy, people who are like fun to be around, and people who are like, you know, I don't want people who are like fucking, oh, I have a family at home and I have two jobs and I have a lot going on and I can't always be there. Like we want people who are there for us. We don't want people who are just fucking around trying to make a few bucks and then leave and not care about like you have friends at work, you have like a nice place to work at, like you should care about it. And I'm just so thankful we got rid of these people. Um like I had an issue where somebody sent a guest downstairs to call me and like you like if you're working for this business, you will not you don't send a fucking customer down to fucking call me. Like that's ridiculous. That's like a high level of laziness. And then this same person had a guest pouring alcohol for another guest, which is crazy, like highly illegal, completely against the rules. Like you don't let a guest touch a bottle and pour for another. You just don't do that. That's just not what you do. It's not cool. But it's just really nice that everything's falling into place, and I think this is what this episode is going to be called. Like everything just falls into place sometimes. Like life, if you go at it in a really caring and really like, you just have to give a fuck. You know what I mean? And it's easy to get lost in like I don't give a fuck because it's, you know, I don't give a fuck because the world is chaotic or everybody around me sucks or whatever. But that's, to be honest, is like a mental health issue. Because if you don't give a fuck, Nobody else is going to give a fuck either. You know what I'm saying? And if people can read that on you, nobody's gonna want to work with you, date you, be around you. None of that shit. So it all had to change here first, and then you like keep it there and you keep it here, and then it fucking manifests into anything around you that you want it to. I think I understand that manifestation shit, but it really comes from like, do you care enough about what's going on, or are you all about just how you feel and your ego? Because those things could really work against you, and you shouldn't have too much pride. And being there for yourself and taking care of yourself and loving yourself and learning how to be better. This includes reading. This includes working multiple jobs. This includes taking care of people around you. Like, that shit all adds up to something. And this is what I'm here to say, I guess. Like, it's a beautiful episode to have been a part of today, and I'll probably do another one in a couple of weeks. I might end up doing one every week, because I feel different now about all this, and I could see this turning into what I want it to become. Um, I was a little scared before. I want to say like a couple months ago, I was scared that I wasn't fitting in at my day job, or that I wasn't going to make enough money in my life, or that, my clothes were nice and my image was all fucked up. And then I decided to do something about everything that I had problems with. So, second job, buying new clothes, taking care of my outward appearance, taking care of better care of my warehouse job, my day job, my career, actually, like taking care of it and letting them know that I'm making the effort to be there and to do what I have to do to make them proud of me. And that's not a chore, and that's not like, I don't feel like that's anything that, like, I'm not going out of my way, like I'm taking care of myself, but nobody else is going to do that. Um and if they are, then that's, wow, that's lucky to have. But I'm living in the fucking, like, I'm on the precipice, like I'm on the fucking edge of like not having somebody help me with life, and then falling off into just being on your own. Like, that's what I have ahead of me, and I know that's ahead of me. So maybe that's my motivation to get up and get up and start doing these things. And my parents are growing older. I can't live with them forever. I just came back here because my ex cheated on me. I didn't want to live with her. I had to get the fuck out of there. I didn't want to deal with that anymore. My spirit tells me to get the fuck away. I have to do it. Like, I felt compelled to. And yeah, man, everything just seems to be getting exactly the way I needed to get. And I didn't think I had that power, and I didn't think that I had the ability, and I was afraid that I couldn't make it. And I still feel that way, like, every day. But that's definitely not an excuse for not even trying. So, like, I listen to all these voices in my mind that tell me, like, yeah, shit's scary, but just do it anyway. Shit's hard, just do it anyway. Yeah, you're uncomfortable, you're tired, whatever it is. But like, you're living life, and you're like timed. Like, I have a time limit. Like, my family's getting older, my daughter's getting older. I want her to have a home with me. I want to be able to have a bedroom for her, an office for the doom scrolls. I want to be able to, you know, some music projects in the future that I have in my mind. And that shit's not gonna come from just sitting around and fucking like hoping things get better. That shit's not gonna come from fucking drinking. That shit's not gonna come from fucking smoking my life away. It's not gonna come from hoping that my day job turns into like like the pay becomes enough. It's like, the pay is not enough, so I'm gonna get another job. And if the pay is not enough for those two, I'll get something else. And if I find something great, like, I'll quit both of those. If I could do this every day, I would. Um, but I'm not there yet, and I'm not gonna live in the future like that. But it's always scary. Like, life's always scary, but I'm still gonna fucking do what I have to do, because like, that's what my mom and dad did, right? That's what my mom did. She, single mother, living, working, sometimes multiple jobs, just to take care of the kids. You know what I mean? And it's not easy. It's never easy. But my example is to just continue to try. My example has always been to just continue trying. My example has always been, Like, we don't look for handouts, and maybe we help each other out because we're family or we have people that love us that are friends, but we don't look for fucking like we don't live our lives like I'm not a fucking kid who's going to be on SSI or because I want to not do shit to get better like for myself. Like I feel like I could have been like on social security. I probably could have been on medication. I probably could have said like my mind hurts and everything sucks and I hate my life and I want help, and I could have asked for help. But for some reason, like I'm not meant to do that. That's not what I'm like. I don't feel that way in myself because I've seen my mom do better without all that shit, you know. And like you can't give that to people, but you could teach people that if they're willing to figure like how to become something better. You know what I mean? Like nobody can fucking force me to become who I am now. But somebody along the lines gave me the opportunity by showing me like, hey, look, this is possible. You just have to do something for yourself. And I was just ready to learn. Like I was just ready to move on from like squalor. I'm ready to move on from being homeless. I'm ready to move on from being broke. I'm ready to move on from not being able to help my friends, help my family, help my child, help myself. You know what I mean? Like fuck all that. I don't want to be helpless for any reason unless I'm hurt or injured or dying or sick. Then I don't want to fucking sit down anymore and just wait for something, you know? Like I have that something now inside. It's manifesting. I know it's going to be within the next 5 or 10 years. Like this is going to be something that people know about, and I know it is because like I have that faith that the mission of what this is a noble one, and that people are going to stand behind it. And I think that I could see it. And when you have those like feelings, like that's God compelling you to do something. And I think God really speaks to me and through me, which is really amazing because I was an atheist before, and I don't like I know how it came about. I know the process, like how it came about, like becoming like a hateful person, and then not liking, you know, religion, and becoming an atheist, and then also the transition from that to having a spiritual feeling like within me, and then knowing that God, like that I trust God, and that God like trusts me now because I've explained my intentions are to work hard, to take care of, you know, what I have, and to actually appreciate the blessings that I have. And you can't really teach people that, but like you could set an example. And I think that's also what I want to do. And I don't know if it's for my daughter or for somebody who might see it in the future, but eventually, um, like it'll all be known, it'll all be seen, and it's gonna help a lot of people. And I know it is because like this is the kind of shit that helped me. If it wasn't for like Derek Lambert, Sadhguru, Eckhart Tolle, like I wouldn't be here, clean, off drugs, not drunk in the middle of the night, just hanging out, trying to help people and talking and doing a podcast, drinking a soda here. Um, but like I think I know the process and I know how to get it out there. So it's just a matter of continuing to push forward and not giving up, and not like it's not one of those things where like I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, it's just something I wanted to do, and I never did it because for whatever reason I didn't continue to follow through with it all. Like in my life, I've done a lot of that, but this is not that. Like this is something that I like. I trust myself with. I can see it happening, and I know how to do it. So I'm gonna continue to do it, and like whoever wants to continue to be a part of it can be a part of it, watch it, you know. And then these solo shows are just to kind of like get that information out there, because I know some people are going to be a part of it. Maybe this episode was like just letting you understand where it's going, but it's also to show the progress too, because I think a year ago I was like drinking, I was depressed, I was going through a lot of fucked up shit. I was letting people kind of like use me here and there for my emotional support, and people who were like not being supportive at all, in other words, for me. But like if you watch it last year and you watch it now, you'll know that like this is a crazy different. It's like a crazy difference. Like I even look very good on the podcast, which is cool. Like I look really fresh every day now. um Dude, I bought some like $200 boots the other day. I did, like I've always wanted since middle school. Some Doc Martens, right? Nothing crazy, but like I've always wanted Doc Martens. I finally got them recently, like. And my mom, I showed my mom like, look, check it out. I got some new boots, right? And she's like, yeah, that's what hard work does. Like you end up getting stuff that you want out of life. And I'm thinking like, that's what kind of God is showing me as well every day now. And within the last week and a half alone, like it, it's like in my face that like if I continue to push the way I did all this year and a little bit like the end of the year was better than the middle of the year, but the beginning of the year was amazing because I was working two jobs, and then the end of the year is amazing because I'm working two jobs. That just literally tells me like my future is working two jobs for a minute until something bigger comes along and better, so then I could quit one of them or both of them and then do that. And I think that's going to be this. Um, and it's really amateur shit right now. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm doing it in my bedroom, um, but it's not always going to be that way. And I'm not afraid that it's going to stay this way. It's not going to, um, because I'm extremely sure of myself. I'm extremely sure of myself right now, and that doesn't come easy. I was never a confident person, but it just take a lot of hard work. And now I trust myself, which is really cool. But I think I'm gonna just say like thanks for watching this. Thanks for watching. If you did watch it, let me know. Like I always say, leave a comment, leave a message, send me a text if you have me on my phone or if you have Messenger. You have me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. You know, I have all that shit. Fucking Pornhub, whatever you want to message me on, fuck it, message me on there, and we'll talk about whatever, and we'll shoot the shit. And let me know what you think of my podcast or my mission or just this episode. But this episode was really important. Like a lot of the stuff I talked about in this episode, like we could talk about it if you wanted to, you know, if you brought it up. But like this is a very important one, and I'm never gonna forget this one because this is just a moment where I realized like hard work really pays off, and everything you want is gonna happen if you really just continues to try and get it. You know what I mean? Push yourself to do stuff that like I'm not comfortable working a lot all the time, and sometimes my feet hurt, which is really it because I wear shitty shoes probably. But like do stuff that makes you uncomfortable for a little while. That's what Kevin Samuels told me. He said work two jobs, you know, sleep 5-6 hours for a couple of years, maybe a couple of months if you need to take a break and work one job. But working two jobs for a couple years is going to put you in a place that most people don't get. Like most people don't get that jump. Most people are just living check to check and they're just kind of like getting by, but not a lot of people have the balls to fucking make that fucking jump. That like that effort that you have to put in to make that jump is a lot, but like I'm gonna say, it really leads you somewhere amazing in life, and I see it today. Um, I think my favorite part of it all is having a girlfriend, which is which is like that's just me being brutally honest, right? Because I was a lonely person for a long time, and I do like how I look now. I do have a confidence that I didn't have before, and it is my favorite part of all of it working out. But then also being able to have money for my children, my daughter, I'm sorry, and to be able to help my mom at home, and to be able to pay all my debts with the people that love me that have been helping me out, and to pay my bills and to get my actual debt done with, like that's a badass feeling. And this is going to be one of the greatest episodes. But thanks for watching. If you do watch it, shout outs to Ed Chronologic for the music. Rest in peace to David. Rest in peace to Mary. Fucking last year was crazy. We lost so many people last year. I think at one point, I lost like 10 or 11 people within the same like 2 month period, which is wild. Like people who I cared about, people who I really knew. And like life is short, and like being there for yourself and caring and putting more effort into it all, I think is like a really good way to respect your, you know, to love the people around you and to respect life, and just don't take it for granted, right? Because like homeboy was a really cool guy, and I know alcohol had something to do with it. And homegirl, she was beloved by everybody. She was in the goth scene, and she was really beloved by everybody as well. And when she passed away, it wrecked a lot of people and it fucked up a lot of people. And she passed away drinking and didn't wake up. She never woke up. They found her. Um, so life is short, and sometimes people drink themselves to death, and let their like they let that sad fucking that little feeling inside that turns you into like a hopeless person. They let that shit take over them, you know, and like I could say that like I've been there before, and just fucking sucks to be there, and it feels so hopeless. And I don't want that hopelessness to be like the reason why like anybody that I love is gone. So I try to like help people and talk to people when I see them, like when I see them feeling sad, you know, because I fucking remember it like it was yesterday, like not being able to get up, or like not being able to see your blessings, you know, like not being able to like know that like wow, my mom's still here. You know, she could be gone, or my dad's still here. He could be gone, or my daughter's still around. Like thank God, right? Like, but life is so short, and people let that shit get to them, and I almost let that shit fuck my whole life up. And just for those two, like Mary and David alone, and a lot of the people we lost, like it could have been prevent. Like it really, like that shit could have been prevented. You know, but people don't know like how to help. I think people just think like it's out of my hands. I can't do anything. But there's like maybe it's good to inspire someone to help another person, or to at least get the information out there. And that's what this is about. You know what I mean? And it just kind of hit me that like that's exactly what this is about. Like I don't like the feeling of fucking losing somebody like that. You know, and I lost my friend too. Like my friend got in a bike accident and passed away recently, and that shit sucked because the dude was so young, and it's so sad. You know what I mean? Like, and that had nothing to do with this, but I just don't like the idea of people being out there with no help and no hope. And like, if you looked for it, you could find it. And if you knew me and you listened to this, you would probably realize that like there is hope. Like I'm a cool guy and people do like me. But I wasn't always like that. I used to be really violent and abusive and angry and suicidal and fucking like I wanted to end it all. Like I wanted to do the same shit. But for some reason like I made it here. And I see now like I guess the reason why I'm here today is because like from what I see and from what I know about myself, like I think I can help somebody. And like man, like they helped me. You know what I mean? Like, cause I'm so fucking happy today that like I wouldn't trade my life for anybody's now. And I don't. And it's not perfect, and I don't have everything. I don't think anybody's life is perfect. I don't think everybody's gonna have everything they want out of life. But I learned how to like live like in a real way and like actually be happy for once. And that's just I mean, that's just me like telling you what the fuck is up. Like, it's not hopeless. Like, there is a reason to have faith and be hopeful about life. But that's what this shit's all about. And it's not for nothing. And this ain't like to be funny. And this ain't for like finding like fame or becoming important like in that regard. It's just because like I know for a fact that this is necessary. You know, like some people need that kind of shit. But it's just not really available. Like I don't think a lot of people want to get heavy about shit like that sometimes, and I get it. Like I'll be at the bar and I want to talk to somebody to help them because I know how to help them sometimes, and I know what they need and I know what to fucking say. But then like it's a chore to some people to get better or to do what they need to do to get better, or like it's too heavy and they don't want to get into it, and I understand that, but like some people are at the point where they're like ready to get into it and they want to talk to somebody who knows what the fuck is going on, and I guess that's what this is really all about now. And I'm I'm starting to see it, and I'm happy that like I could share it, and like it's funny to get emotional. Like it's funny, but like on the reels, like to be honest, like this is a reality. Like I really do feel that way about losing somebody to like alcoholism or suicide, which is like the same shit. And yeah, man, it feels good to be a part of this. I think it's gonna be something that like is a therapeutic tool for me to fucking get through whatever's coming in my life. Because life's not always gonna be amazing. Sometimes there's gonna be some fucked up shit that happens, right? Like you lose people, people grow old, and things don't always go the right way. But maybe I'll use this to help myself in the future. And I know somebody's gonna come along, and I'll have a co-host who's gonna help me fucking figure out shit that I've been wondering. And I have really good friends who are gonna be a part of this. I really know that as far as like whoever I have on here, it's gonna be people who are gonna also be able to help, like in the same way that I am, because I just kind of know who's gonna be a part of this already. I could see it. I could see who's willing and who's kind of like gonna be useful as far as like they're smart enough to help other people get out of this fucking bullshit. I just don't want anybody stuck in bed anymore that's willing to do what they can do to help themselves. But anyways, I'm Christopher. Like I said, special thanks to Ed Chronologic. Check me out. I have a YouTube, a TikTok, a Twitter, a Facebook, a fucking whatever. You can find me online anywhere. But that's gonna be episode 9 probably. And it's pretty interesting that I kind of got emotional, but I think that's gonna be kind of regular too, because honestly, like this shit's heavy as fuck. It's not something that you can just gloss over. It's not something to do like it's not a podcast to watch like when you want to laugh and have a great time. But it's really informative when you need to think about certain things, and like I think a lot of this stuff has to be brought up, or people really have to think about a lot of this shit, like how do people get out of it? Like why wouldn't you want to, and why don't you want to, and what's so hard, or like what is it? Is it laziness? Is it pride? Like why do people sit with their problems and feel them over and over and over and over again and don't want to do anything about it? And it's just like it's ignorance, it's laziness, it's like you don't know what you're gonna go through, so you just stay in the pain, and that's fucked up. But nah, fuck that though. Like that's not how I'm living, and that's not how I want people around me living. And I just want to help people get out of that shit. But this is the Doom Scrolls, and you guys, thanks for watching. Send me a message, email, hate mail, whatever. I'll leave all that information at the bottom. If you're my friends, and you watch this all the way through, let me know what you think. And I'm pretty sure it's just going to be all love and feedback. Good shit from you guys. Thanks for watching the Doom Scrolls. So I'll see you guys next time.